Hello, this is Nindy Kerr and welcome to another Nindy's Creative Corner video. Today we will be learning about basic heat embossing. You need very few supplies. You need, of course, cardstock, an embossing buddy, some ink, and embossing powder, and a heat tool. So let's get started. Oh, and you need a piece of printer paper. So I'll show you this. Make sure your image is all the way stamped, because apparently I missed that, and this one I apparently didn't heat set all the way. If the lines are super detailed like this, there's just not enough ink to catch the embossing powder. This one turned out perfect. Hopefully you can see the shine on the black and the green one. So let's get started. The most important part is using your embossing buddy all over your cardstock. The reason for this is your ink will be wet and everything else will be anti-static, and so the embossing powder won't stick to it. So we will start with, let's start with the sentiment first, and Versamark ink. Versamark ink is a watermark ink pad, and if you do it on colored cardstock, it will be a tone-on-tone ink. So by that I mean if you stamp it on a blue, it will be a little bit darker blue. Okay, we'll just stamp this as normal, and I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat. I always count to 5, I don't know why. But since I've done that, I've gotten really good results. We'll use silver ink. Oh, now here's when we put our paper under. Then you just dump out lots of ink. Lots of embossing powder over your ink. Then we can carefully bend it, and now we still got a little bit, so we can flick it with our fingers. Most of that comes off. Look and see if there's any stray ones. I don't see any. Once you get the embossing powder on, you can, if you're doing multiple embossing on your on multiple cards, you can wait a while before you emboss if you want. And I always like to close my lid first. Once I blew a whole thing of embossing powder all over. Okay, the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has two settings. A low setting, which is suggested for vellum, but I just hold it further away for vellum and use it on the high setting too. Anyway, so we'll go 1, 2, and kind of swirl it. Then look to make sure it's all shiny. And I have to turn this off with my fingernail. I'm not coordinated enough, I guess, to do it with my, just my thumb. Okay, let's try it with a color. We will use this, and we'll use this stamp this time. And we will stamp as normal. Just make sure there's plenty of ink on the raised parts and no ink on the outside edges. We'll make it a little at an angle. And this works with any kind of stamps. And then you take your clear, where's clear? And again, sprinkle on plenty. My kids say I'm a little sarcastic on that. And then again, flick the excess off, even though you can't see the excess. And again, we'll use our heat tool on high. 1, 2. Well, I guess I did it faster. Always check to make sure that it is all shiny. And if you're unsure, you can touch it, and if it's dusty, then that means it is still dry and you need to heat it up so it will melt. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy using heat embossing. It's a perfect way to make your cards look better, and it's easy even for beginner stampers. So, thanks so much. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and get an email every time I post a new video. Thanks. Bye.